When it comes to helicopters, the two major technological lines at present are, of course, the United States and Russia. Their helicopters, in terms of both quantity and models, can crush any other country. However, this does not mean that other countries have achieved nothing. At least the United Kingdom is one of the earliest countries to explore helicopters. During World War II, it developed the experimental helicopter Cierva W.9. The Cierva W.9 is not a practical type of helicopter. It is mainly used to verify some aircraft technologies, which may be why this helicopter seems very strange. Its development began in 1940, when World War II had just started. The UK faced an unprecedented crisis, which to some extent affected the exploration of helicopters. Speaking of the aircraft itself, at that time, the focus of research in various countries was on what type of rotor to use in helicopters to best control them, and how to counteract the torque generated by the rotor movement. The main verification direction of the Cierva W.9 was also these two aspects. The helicopter's fuselage is shaped like a dragonfly, with a glass cockpit at the front and doors on both sides for entry and exit. The cockpit is equipped with a 205 horsepower, inline 6-cylinder air-cooled engine. Its power drives a 3-bladed main rotor controlled by a tilting hub, which is one of the key experimental technologies. The tilt of the hub seems to be controlled by hydraulic equipment, and the hydraulic equipment's boost power comes from the rotor's drive shaft. In terms of balancing the torque of the aircraft, the Cierva W.9 is also unique. It does not use a tail rotor, but instead uses side-blowing air. The engine has a variable pitch cooling fan that blows cool air to cool the engine, while the hot air and the hot exhaust gas from the engine are mixed and transmitted to the rear of the tail beam through a long pipe. The pipe then turns to the right side, as viewed from the front of the helicopter. The pilot can control the size of the wind force by adjusting the cooling fan, thereby adjusting the direction of the aircraft. At the same time, there is a vertical tail at the end of the tail beam. The ability to adjust the angle of this vertical tail is uncertain. The aircraft uses a 3-point landing gear, with the main landing gear on supports on both sides of the fuselage and the tail wheel below the vertical tail on the tail beam. During World War II, the United Kingdom did not have much demand for helicopters. The British military needed more conventional equipment, and the few helicopters in use in Europe during World War II were all ugly ducklings. Although they could perform vertical takeoff and landing, their transport capacity and flight speed were only sufficient for miscellaneous tasks. In 1944, the Cierva W.9 experienced ground control issues, leading to damage to the aircraft. After it was repaired the following year, experiments continued, and it even participated in air shows. However, it was severely damaged in an accident in 1946, and the entire development project was terminated. The maximum takeoff weight of the experimental helicopter Cierva W.9 is about 1,200 kilograms, with a length of 11 meters, a height of 3 meters, a rotor diameter of 10.97 meters, a rotor area of 94.5 square meters, and a crew of 2 people.